Hey, Coach.
And
JB
like
Ricks
Jeff
here
said,
from Spectrum News One. Your immediate reaction to Christian McCaffrey and the diagnosis of his injury and him being out for multiple weeks?
I hate it for him. I mean, no one wants to be out there and play more than Christian does, but everything happens for a reason. I'm sure he'll rehab. I'm sure he's rehabbing right now. I talked to him earlier today, and I know he'll get back as soon as he can.
Matt, just to clarify, what is Christian's injury and how long are you expecting him to be out?
He has a high ankle sprain, and I'm not great with timelines. I'm not sure how long it'll exactly be.
Did it
Matt,
happen?
what was
When
Christian's
he took
mood
himself
when you
out, or
spoke
did
to
it
him?
happen on that touchdown play?
Could you repeat that?
Did he injure himself initially in the second quarter where he took himself out, or did it happen on the touchdown play in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it happened on the play maybe 2 plays before that touchdown. So I think we ran like a trap, and he ran around the right side. That was the play that happened.
Matt, you said you spoke to him. What was his mood when you did talk to him about the future?
I don't want to speak for him. And to be clear, I texted back and forth with him. I guess I spoke. But he just was giving me a heads up of after seeing the doctor where everything was at.
Matt, Steve Reed from the AP. I know you don't want to use timelines, but is it safe to say that he will?
I didn't hear the end of that, Steve. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Matt. Is it safe to say that he'll miss more than one game?
Yeah, as Elena said, he'll be out as of right now multiple weeks.
Matt, can we go back to yesterday real quick? And we didn't get a chance to ask you about the thinking on the plus side of the field with the fake punt. How often did you guys work with that? And how good did you feel about that play? Was it based on formation? What were you thinking?
Yeah, we went into the week feeling like if they were in punt safe, they're a defense that stands up, that we would surprise them and get a yard. And it being across the field, being at the 36-yard line, the wind was really a hard wind day. We felt like, the 32-yard line was the best chance for us to kick a field goal. So it was just out of field goal range. And, we went into it saying, hey, we thought that was, they were going to be in punt safe, especially across the 50. We thought we were going to catch the ball and go forward. And unfortunately, just, we missed one block and it didn't work. So that was what we had planned for. Obviously, it didn't work out. So, I'd love to be able to go back, but I can't. But that was the thinking.
Matt, Jonathan Alexander. Sorry for this, but did you say whether because you mentioned the injury in the first quarter where he came out in the first quarter? Do you know if that had to do with added on?
Yeah, that was unrelated. Unrelated. Okay. I think I didn't ask him even what that was. I think that was just he got hit and needed a blow. But I can't even speak to that. Just he told me that was the injury he had that it happened on that one play.
Matt, during the preseason or training camp, as it were, you had a lot of compliments for Mike Davis. What specifically did you see from him that you really liked, and how confident are you in him to take over right now?
Yeah, Mike Davis is a starting tailback in the National Football League. He got out there yesterday, made some great catches, was physical. He was ready when his number was called, and he'll play well in Christian's absence. He's a big back. He runs with power. He runs good routes, has good hands, can block. He's really intelligent. So, he'll play well for us.
Matt, Jason Huber with WFNZ. How much with Mike Davis's skill set does that possibly, change the offense compared to Christian McCaffrey's?
I think we keep doing what we're doing. It's the same. Like I said, Mike can run the football. He can block, and he can catch the ball in the backfield. So, when he went in there, we didn't change what we did yesterday, and he made the most out of his opportunities, and I'm sure he'll do the same thing next week.
Do you envision IR being a possibility for Christian at this time?
I don't.
And just
I don't know. I haven't thought of that though. I can't speak to that.
Okay. And just with the depth at running back, would you obviously see bringing Reggie up from the practice squad, or do you envision you guys dressing the position at this point?
I think we're addressing that right now. I don't have any updates on that. I was meeting with Marty earlier, just trying to figure out what we're going to do next. But I think we have lots of, good plans. Obviously Reggie's a really good player, and he could step in right away, and I think can help us. So we'll meet on it today and hopefully have a plan formulated before Wednesday's practice.
Matt, whether you're 2
You're gonna
and
have a
0
lot
or
of
0
challenges
and 2,
this
obviously
season,
losing
but
someone
one
like
of
Christian is a very big deal.
You'll have to start over. There were two
I'm
people. I
sorry.
couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Whether you're 2 and 0 or 0 and 2, obviously losing Christian is a very big deal. Is there any way that you can actually put into words what losing him actually means to you guys?
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I just, I care about our players beyond just football and beyond just winning. So when a guy gets hurt, whether he's a really talented player or a guy that, that's just hanging on, as the 53rd guy, I hate to see it. And, Christian's a special player, but even more so, he's a special person. And I know how badly he wants to be out there for his team. And after the game, I mean, he was upset that he wasn't out there to help us at the very end. So, this is the National Football League. Hopefully we get KK back this week. Hopefully we get, some other guys back this week. Guys have to step up when their number's called. And I have a lot of confidence in Mike and in Reggie and anybody else that we bring in.
Hey, Matt, Skylar with Sports Illustrated. You talked a lot about the team's toughness in training camp, and through the first 2 weeks, they were down double digits into the second half and battled back. Do you think that this is a pretty positive sign for such a young and inexperienced team?
Absolutely. I mean, we have tremendous competitive toughness. I thought the first week, we played well enough on offense to win. I thought this game, we played well enough on defense to win. I'm not saying we played great on offense. I'm not saying we played great on defense, but well enough. And we just have to put a total team effort together. And it's coming. It's on the way. You see lots of positive things. You also see some things that have to get corrected. And as I said last week in the middle of the week, to me, it's not about just winning or losing one game. I mean, I die with every loss. I can promise you that. And I love to win. I know our guys do too, but we're just trying to build something. And we're trying to build a way in which we do things. And so I love the fight. I love the moxie. I love the toughness. Now we have to understand that we're never going to turn the ball over 4 times and probably win. That's just not going to happen. And so those things have to get corrected, and we'll go back this week, and it's just game 3. And I think, there's a lot to build on, though.
David, you said before the season that y'all are building this offense around Christian McCaffrey, but with him out, do you build it around now Teddy? And is Teddy strong enough at quarterback where he can carry your team, or what has to happen there?
I think our offense is built. I mean, it is what it is. The plays and the things that we do are what they are. We've had some real production out of Robbie Anderson. DJ's done some really, really good things. Teddy threw for 370 yesterday. So, I think we have to eliminate the negatives, eliminate the turnovers, build off the positives. And, I don't think we can go back and redirect what we're doing. I think we just have to go out there and play. And to answer the second part of your question, I have full confidence in Teddy. He's in his second game with us, and, down 21-0, we have the ball with a chance to go win the game. And so everyone will get better all around, and we'll just continue to grow.
Hey, Matt, as competitive, and this is obviously down the road, but as competitive as Christian is, he's going to want to get out there as quickly as possible. How do you balance kind of the long-term situation versus knowing how badly he's going to want to get back out there?
Just let the doctors and trainers, and the medical people do their job. They'll do everything with his best interest at heart. And you're exactly right. Christian's a tremendous competitor. He'll want to be out there this week, but we have to let the medical people do their job and let them say when he's ready to return to play.
Hey, Matt, Woodrow Hamilton had his name called on a couple of plays. What did you think of his impact, just being able to come in and do something on the defensive side?
I thought he was a positive, coming up from the practice squad, and that's who he is. He was put on the practice squad. He's a veteran player, but he's continued to work every week, and he's continued to try to get better every week, and I appreciate that. So I was proud to see him go out there. I'm proud to see him make some plays, and we'll look to see how his role improves as we move forward.
Matt, decision to have PJ Walker as the backup quarterback this week.
Could you say that again? I'm sorry. I can't hear when you guys two people talk. I'm sorry. Just say the beginning again.
PJ Walker, what went into the decision to have him be your backup quarterback this week?
I think we thought that we knew that it would be a high pressure week. The Buccaneers are all right, pressure defense, get after the quarterback, blitz, twist, and I think that we felt like his mobility versus that pressure, if he was called into action, would be utilized. So I think it was more of a not really schematic, but really just a skill set. Just knowing that he can scramble and kind of move and make some plays with his feet, that might be needed in a game like this.
Matt, I know sometimes it's difficult to give immediate impressions after a game, but now that you've had a chance to look at the films, did anything stand out negative or positive from yesterday that really jumped out to you?
I just obviously, and it's such an obvious statement, but just the turnovers and then the penalties on defense. The extending drive penalties. I think it's 4 or 5 times we stopped them on third down and a penalty extend the drive for them. Versus Tom Brady and those guys. I mean, you can't do that. So that's also kind of a positive to me that coming off of last week where we weren't able to stop the run, where we weren't able to get off the field. I mean, we did get off the field, save those penalties. And, I think we held them to 32 yards rushing in the first half. So we didn't have great rush defense the first week. It was better until that last drive, that ball popped. So what we want to see is from the first game to the second game, hey, did we improve in these areas? I think offensively, we just have to get to the root of why did we have these turnovers? Why, because it's never really quite what you think, right? It's a missed block here. It's a guy running the wrong route, or it could be many different things. And so I think for us, it's we know we can't have the penalties. Now we have to get to the business of eliminating those things. And as I said, before, what we want to be is a head coach who's comes in and says, hey, I need to do this better. An offensive defensive coordinator and coaches who say the same thing, players who say the same thing. And if everybody just gets a little bit better, then we make a huge step as a team, hopefully from week 2 to week 3.
Are some of those penalties things you accept, though, when you start such a young defense and have rookies out there? I think about Derek's 15-yard penalty on the early drive and the illegal hands to the face. Are those things you look at as a staff when you start younger players that you kind of have to accept at least early on?
I told Derek, because Derek cares greatly. I had him come meet with me this morning, and I told him, I said, forget the penalties. I mean, he's 335 pounds, whatever he is. He's running 20 yards down the field, and he can't stop. He lands on the guy. Like I said, try to get rid of it. But he's playing the way we want to play. I mean, he's making plays 10 yards down the field, 15 yards down the field. And he's going to get doubled a lot in pass protection. His name won't always get called, but he's making plays down the field. So I think when penalties are made out of elite effort, we have to just kind of deal with it. I don't think it's anything about young or old. I mean, that maybe to an extent, but we're just a little bit grabby and pass interference. We have a tendency to grab, and we just have to play with a little bit more confidence to go attack the ball. But the aggressive penalties I can live with. I can definitely live with those.
Matt, you had another really, really long touchdown drive yesterday, 93 yards, like 13 plays, I think. You did that week 1 as well. How encouraging is that to be able to string those long drives together as sort of a sign for the future, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, we when we don't beat ourselves, we're a pretty good group, and so it's just about eliminating the things that are causing us to lose, eliminating the negative plays, and then you have great drives like that. And even in that drive, I think we had to overcome some self-inflicted wounds. So, you see the signs of, hey, we have a chance to get where we want to get to, but there's some things we have to eliminate, and it's just a total team, franchise, program, cultural thing, right? And it's hard in year 1 because guys are trying to, everyone's trying to figure out like what's expected. Do I really want to buy in? Is it really going to work? It's hard. But when you see, hey, this is what we're capable of when we do things right. If everyone won't do what they want to do, but will do what they're supposed to do, then we have a chance to be really good. And that's what I saw when I looked at those plays.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, we'll take, this will be the last question, Josh. This will be the last question.
Sure. Christian was one of many players across the league to get injured yesterday, have kind of those soft tissue injuries. Do you chalk any of that? Do you think any of that might have had to do with the lack of OTAs, the lack of minicamp, the ramp up? Obviously, we know the way that Christian takes care of his body, but to see this many injuries across the league, do you think there's some sort of relation there?
I can't speak about the other ones. I'm not sure. We had we had Daly high ankle sprain or whatever ankle sprain in the last scrimmage. KK foot last week. Christian had the high ankle. So I don't think when it comes to ankles and high ankles, I think that's more of a contact injury, if that makes sense, or more of a foot in the turf injury as opposed to like a true pulls and all those things. So I think his was just playing football and being a running back in the NFL, and those things are going to happen, unfortunately. So I attribute that more to those things. I did see the stories about things around the NFL. I just probably don't know enough to give a educated opinion.